Welcome to the Insurance Playbook Podcast, the show that pulls back the curtain on the insurance industry and gives you the stories, strategies, and insider tips you need to win. Sponsored by Spark AI Partners. Now, today we have a special guest who knows what it takes to succeed in sales. From shrimp commodities to mortgage lending, and now leading sales and marketing at Ensign National Brokerage, Dan Keil has mastered the art of building trust and creating clients for life. In this episode, he shares how to turn referrals into lasting relationships, the strategies that separate top producers from the rest, and why guarantees and modern insurance products are changing the way families and agents think about financial security. Let's dive in. Welcome to today's podcast episode. I've got an amazing guest here, Dan Keil from Ensign National Brokerage. He's here to share some sales and marketing secrets, as well as just his experience in the industry. Dan, we're happy to have you on here.
Great to be on. I appreciate it. Look forward to sharing some information.
Absolutely. Well, Dan, take me through a little bit of your journey. You're head of sales and marketing right now at Ensign National Brokerage, but it didn't start there. You started in sales for seafood commodities, right?
Yes, I started with in Los Angeles. I moved to Los Angeles in '83 and got into the seafood business, block frozen shrimp, commodities, and then moved myself into brokering the item. So it was a fast pace, get to the office, products coming in from all over the United States and different areas of the world, actually, from like Alaska and the great Northeast. And so it was really a fast-paced industry, and I built a good clientele, and it was great. But it was all sales, numbers, which was really fun. And then from there, the margins got extremely low. We went from making 5% down to like 1 and 2 cents a pound, and I ended up leaving the business after 13 years, and then got into the mortgage industry, which again was all numbers from 2000 to 2008. And I also worked directly with Ruben during that time frame. We actually we ran a company, Mortgage Tree Lending, which was a lot of fun, a lot of work, and it was excellent. And then we segued from there from 2008, and we got into the insurance business, so the life insurance business. And from there, which has been about 19 years ago, here I am today, still working with Ruben and Ensign National Brokerage, which has been an excellent experience. I mean, beyond belief. It's one of the most aggressive teams that I've been on. What we've been able to accomplish and the cases that we're able to get through and the camaraderie that we have. I really have a lifetime camaraderie with Ruben, and we continue to this day and forward, which has been phenomenal.
That's awesome. Let me back up just 1 second, and I do want to ask you some questions about kind of what you do at Ensign. But from the transition from mortgage lending into insurance, what for you was the biggest thing? A lot of our listeners, some of them are new insurance agents or thinking about becoming an insurance agent, or maybe they're in it. But why did you make the leap to insurance specifically? And then even more specifically, why life insurance and annuities and long-term care?
Well, looking at the industry, coming from the mortgage background, and the mortgage meltdown, of course, was in 2008. Basically, Ruben was going to be getting back into the life insurance business, and I had never been in the life insurance business. And, I knew a lot about life insurance, but not intricate details about exactly what it's like. And I thought that it would be a good segue. And so I went into it. I got my license, and then I took off. My first sale was like, I think $383 a month for life insurance. I went out, did the presentation, they purchased it, and then I just took off in this business. I mean, I think my first month in the business, I mean, this is back in 2008. I think I wrote like 26,000 in annual premium for the month. So I just came on, worked diligently, learned a new business, used my sales skills, because that's what you want to do. You want to use your sales skills that you've honed in on your entire career and just apply it to a different industry. And I liked life insurance and life, retirement, and long-term care sales better than any other industry that I've been in.
Why is that?
Well, because you're safeguarding people's assets and retirement, and you're safeguarding their family. And, it's a big deal for people. And if you treat it like that, that's the way you get more business. You get more referrals. You just get more energy and more clients. And, I'm very hands-on with my clients. I mean, I had a client this morning called me up. She goes, I want to move my date on my insurance policy. Not a big deal, call the insurance company with her on the line, move the date, change your address. I mean, boom, 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 done in like 3 minutes, and she's a happy client. And so you just move on. Then she gave me a referral for her sister today. Give my
That's
sister a call.
awesome.
Yeah, she even said, I want my sister to call. I want my sister to work with you. So it's just like it's just really listening to what the people need and then responding in a way that they can understand and then go to work for them, making policies work for them. And that's really, what I try to do. I try to make the policies work for the families that I'm working with or the businesses that I'm working with, to make things better and easier for them to understand, and therefore we can get more referrals and more business. So I would say any new agents that are coming on that have been in the business, Ensign National Brokerage is incredible. I mean, you have a gentleman, Ruben, who works harder than anybody I know on that end of the business. I mean, it's just incredible. What we've gotten people through that have been denied, and we recapture it, we repackage it, we send it back to the underwriters, and then we get approved. We are over it. I think we've overturned like 6 denials into really nice policies.
That's awesome.
And you have to relay that to the client. Hey, this has been a really intricate, tough case to get through, but we did it. We got you approved. And then, and they're ecstatic about being approved. They really are. I mean, it's really a great opportunity for new salespeople, especially because I didn't start in this industry until I was 48 years of age. So anybody that's like starting out that might be in their 20s and really, want to work in something that they can retire in. They could work X amount of hours. They could build their own book of business. They can, they make their own schedules, which is really nice in this day and age.
100%. Yeah, if I could go back to 18 again and
Oh yeah.
start, I'd 100% start in
Right,
this.
right, right. I know. 18 for me would be going back to age 45.
But that's awesome.
Yeah,
That's
so I
awesome.
mean, it's really, I will tell you that every day is a challenge. Every day you learn new things. That's what I love about this. You look at the life and retirement business as a whole, it's a separate entity because, there's property and casualty companies that deal with commercial insurance. I mean, there's so many different facets of the insurance industry. The life and retirement end is, I think, more intricate. I think the deals are much harder to put together. We almost call them puzzles, where they're piece by piece them together. We put it all together to make it work, and the outcome is excellent. You have a great client, hopefully for life, that you could add products to, and it just works. It's just for people that want to get into a great industry and a great company. I mean, we have it. We have all the components that make up an excellent insurance program for agents and agencies that are looking to work with a great company. Ensign National Brokers. It's excellent.
Absolutely. And yeah, what I'm hearing from you, back to, you said that all of the sales skills will parlay into insurance,
Correct.
and essentially it's the feature benefit, right? Understanding what they need and offering that as a feature, and then explaining how it's important to them and that
Correct.
benefit.
And then what's going to work for them financially? Because a lot of times, most of it is what people need to fit into their budgets, what they have like in retirement, what they're looking to do, time frames of, through their life, where they want to be, how much they want to earn in retirement. So it's all set up. And basically, we work to put together a program that works for that client or that business, and then, that's how we do it. I mean, we work very closely with our clients.
Yeah.
That's very important for us. We want to maintain our relationships with our customers, and make them feel like family. And a lot of my clients, I mean, I've had clients for, 18 years that I still talk to. We come back, we sell other products to them. We review all the products that they have and all the policies that they might have. It's like the policies now, if you compare it to like the policies that are out now, compared to the policies that are out like 10 and 15 years ago, it's just like a car. Look at the automobiles 15 years ago compared to the automobiles now. It's no different. Insurance companies are looking to, you know, put they're looking to put people in products that work for them better now than they have in the past, and they upgrade their product lines. There could be
Mhm.
more interest accumulation on annuity programs. There could be better cash value for them and better dividends on whole life compared to what they had in before. I mean, if you look at like long-term care policies, 20 and 30 years ago, all there was a long-term care policy. There was no cash value. There was no there was no growth in the product. All there was a benefit that they were paying into for 30, 20, 30, and 40 years. Well, now that product has cash value. That product has life insurance. That product has a rider that for long-term care. So you have a much better product than you did years ago. And it's no different in whether you're doing life insurance or you're doing annuities. Whatever you're doing, the products are better. So you could upgrade people, you could add to their portfolios and make it work better for them. Also, mitigate tax liabilities that they have, put them into, all tax-free products. I mean, life insurance is tax-free. You could take assets that are taxable and change them into a non-taxable asset, which is huge. I mean, why not have non-taxable assets in retirement instead of taxable assets?
Right.
That's a program in Ensign National Brokers. We work hard to get them to that point. And again, internally with who we work with, we have a back shop, a team that works hard every day, and which is, I've been working in this industry for 18 years, and I've had back shops that don't do anything. I mean, you do it all. Well, we have a back shop that actually works hard and gets policies through, and we get them through quickly. Denials we overturn. So there's a lot of different facets that really works well for people that are on the sales end of the business like we are. It's excellent.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I mean, it sounds like it, and it does help to have a team
Oh
behind
yeah.
you. You guys focus mainly on high net worth individuals, right?
I have high net worth individuals. I also have people that are just regular people that want life insurance policies. They might want living benefits in their policies, where if they get ill, they could pull money out of their policies. So, we deal with high net individuals, but we also deal with regular people that have assets of 300 to 500, $600,000, and we treat everybody with respect, no matter what they make, no matter what they earn, and that's the way to run a business. You have to treat people the way you want to be treated, whether they have multi-millions. And I've done business with people worth $40 million before, 40, 50 million. I've done people just on Social Security income. So I mean, I have different facets and people that I deal with, and I just treat everybody with respect, and that's the best way to do business.
Absolutely, absolutely. So I wanted to ask, kind of on the annuity side, right? You guys focus on the annuities, on the sales process of those annuities. What would you say are some of the keys that you and the team at Ensign use to develop the rapport and trust for people investing, hundreds of thousands or millions of dollars into annuities? How does that conversation go, and like how long is that?
What I usually it's a 3-time meeting, the way that I've been doing it. A lot of times I'll already have sold or put together a life policy for them, either a whole life or a term product for short term insurance, like a 20-year where the other products can grow. The annuities are a little bit different, where people, they have assets that could be in, a 401k or IRA, where you're transferring out a qualified asset. And it's really about the client's time frame on when they want to start pulling on their money. We like to have seasoning in a product like that. In other cases, you could take a 401k, it's somebody that's working that has another, 8 to 10 years left to work, and they could take their 401k and put it into a SPIA, a single premium and immediate annuity, where they can dump that into a whole life product every year. And then that, as they do that, they're putting their money into a non-taxable asset, and they're actually paying the taxes on that K that's in a SPIA every single year as it goes in. And then when they retire, they no longer have any taxes due. Instead of waiting to retirement to where you have to pay taxes, we can do that before they retire into a non-taxable asset and make it a lot better for them in retirement. They don't have to worry about paying 20, 25, 28% on their tax liabilities. You're in a non-taxable asset that's growing with dividends. So there's a lot of different ways, but usually it's a 3-time call depending on what they want to do, time frames, the right product lines that will work for them, coinciding with some new insurance products that they need to look at. It's a process because you're also dealing with a lot of money in most cases, 500, 600,000 up to a million, couple $1 million. So you're dealing with a lot more of their assets. They worked their entire life to build that asset portfolio. Now we want to preserve it for them. You also look at somebody that's in their early 60s, if they're in market-based assets, and the market takes a hit 35%, you're taking that hit in your 60s. Well, if you're in your 30s and taking that hit, if you're in your 30s and taking that hit, it's not that big of a hit because you have time on your side to make it up. But when you're in your early 60s or mid 60s and you're in a position to where you're in market-based assets and you can lose dollars, 140,000 in a month or whatever that number is, we are trying to show them different ways to safeguard their portfolios and make it where they're not as stressed out about looking at the market every single day and trying to figure out what they're going to do. They have a plan of, annuitization, tax-free growth in certain cases. So, it takes a little bit. It's a little bit more intricate of a sale, but something, if you're taking care of your client base and you understand where they want to be in time frames of retirement and drawing on funds, it makes it a lot easier. It's a whole program process.
Absolutely. I mean, when you say it, it sounds like gold, like why would you risk putting your money into a market that could possibly lose you a bunch of money, or why would you do X, Y, and Z? Why would you pay taxes later?
Right. Well, it's interesting. I mean, you could, in a stock portfolio, yeah, over the course of 30, 40 years, you're going to make money. I mean, those are the numbers. When a stockbroker says to somebody, this has been the averages, here's the averages of our growth. Here's what you can make during this time frame. It's not an exact science. They could lose money. So when we look at insurance is a contract with a $1 billion A+ AAA rated insurance carrier that's saying, oh, here's our contract, and we are guaranteeing this. Okay, we're guaranteeing that you will not lose any money. We guarantee that this is going to grow tax-free for you. So when you get in front of people and you show them what you can actually do for them, it's powerful, and you're really helping out. You're really helping out their families. You really are. You're helping out their families big time because you're putting them in a position where they don't have to worry and they can safeguard, and grow their assets without worrying, if there's going to be a downturn, especially if you're in your 60s. I mean, if you're in your 60s, and Ruben and I talk about this all the time, if you're in market-based assets in your 60s, a large portion of your portfolio, you're going to lose some money. It's not going to be a gaining process for you. It's going to be a miserable process because, and it's so funny when these people, because I deal with a lot of people that have stock accounts, when the markets are down and they're really down, those stockbrokers, they're not those portfolio managers, they're not calling their clients when the markets are down. They just don't. They don't get back to them because they know they're worried. And, all they're going to say to them is, hey, continue on the path that you're on. And guess what? It's going to rebound. It's going to rebound. But they don't know that. They say that, but they don't know that. In our case, we can show them guarantees, and guarantees are huge when it comes to retirement planning. You want a guarantee. You want to know what you're going to have and know that you're not going to lose money. And that's the key. So that is definitely a process that that we go through with clients.
What would you say the biggest objection that those clients bring to the table that you have to overcome?
Well, I would say they're just used to what they've been doing. When people get into a comfort zone and they feel like, over the years I've won and I lost money, made money here and there, so they're comfortable in what they've been doing until they get older and they figure out that, I cannot take a 40% hit on my portfolio. I can't take, 25, 30, 40% drops right now because then it takes twice as much time for it to come back. You have to make 200% more to get the money back. And a lot of people just run out of time and they need the money. So
Hmm.
it's great to look at a plan that really works for people and, especially in time frames and so people do not run out of money in their lifetime. They can have a nest egg that's growing predominantly tax free and grow that out and be comfortable in what they're doing with our company,
Hmm.
which is great.
Absolutely. I got one more question for you, Dan.
Sure.
Appreciate your time here on the
No problem.
podcast.
No problem.
Question that I love asking everybody is, if you had a magic wand, you could wave it, you could solve whatever problem, your biggest problem that you have, and it would just poof be gone. What would you point that wand at? What problem would you solve?
I would like to solve the problem that I would love to solve is just to have most people realize that these products are the place to be as you get into your 50s and 60s. They just are. The growth of these products are unbelievable. I mean, Ruben and I just we go through dividend schedules with people. I mean, do you realize if somebody's 53 years old or 50 years old, you realize almost at the 17 or 18-year mark in an aggressive whole life policy, and you're on a continuous pay on a whole life policy, you realize the dividends pay the premium for the rest of their lives. And you're talking about so the insurance company is going to pay your premium at a certain age from a dividend, and your portfolio in that policy is going to grow into the millions without you putting any more money into it and safeguard yourself where you do not have any loss. It's only gain. If you could, the magic wand is to be waved over people's head to say, these are the products you need to be in. Yeah, you get up and you're looking at the market every day and blah, blah, blah. And they really need to just open their minds and say, okay, we need to open our minds to these programs to make our lives more successful and more free of stress. So that wand would be the stress-free wand of knowing things are growing without you worrying. That's,
Hmm.
like I said, people fall into traps. People fall, not traps. They're just used to what they're doing. So if you get into a situation where you're used to it, it's hard to break that pattern to get out of that. But when you get out of that and you see what's out there and you're working with a company that really understands this asset of the financial, retirement programs, I mean, you're really with good people that can really help you out. And that's what we love to do. We love it.
Absolutely. So if there's somebody listening here and they want to get involved with Ensign National Brokerage, obviously we had Ruben on the podcast previously. How do they contact you guys? Just as a recap, how do they get
That's
involved?
it. EnsignNationalBrokerage.com. And I mean, I would say, listen, I know you've probably worked with different companies. If you're a seasoned life insurance agent or retirement specialist, if you worked with other companies, there's a lot of times if you can call into other companies, no one picks up the phone, and really not too many people get back to you in a timely fashion. I mean, like we pick up the phone, we work hard for our clients. The back shops are unbelievable, and it's a place where you can grow your business. You can grow your business on a day-to-day basis and become better at what you do because you're working with very aggressive people that understand the industry and want to make you better. That's our goal. So your clients are clients for life, and your business strategies become much better, and you're working with a group of people that are aggressive and happy to do business with you. That's the key. It really is.
100%. I agree completely. And that's the game of the retaining those clients and just a
Retain them,
long-term
retain
relationship.
them, retain them, and help them out, help them grow.
Yes, sir. Well, hey, I appreciate all of your time on the podcast. I wish I could have you for longer and dive into your brain with sales and marketing and all that stuff. But appreciate the time that we've had. And yeah, this has been amazing.
Same with me. I really appreciate your time, and let's do it again.
Absolutely. But hey guys, if you liked the podcast, make sure you share it with somebody who needs to hear it. Like it, follow us, DM it to somebody.
Clients also. I mean, customers that are on the edge about looking at different retirement products. I mean, for customers, for agents. I mean, we're
Yeah,
available for everybody. Absolutely.
absolutely. Absolutely. Well, sounds good. We'll see you guys on the next episode. This has been the Insurance Playbook Podcast, sponsored by Spark AI Partners.
Thank you very much. Thanks for your time. Have a great day.